Okay, we're switching things up a little bit. We're gonna set aside the balsa wood Grumman Cougar. We'll get back to that. I ran into a little bit of an issue with it, and I'm still working out how to correct that and straighten things out again so that we can resume our task there. Also, I have, well, let's just set it aside for now. And this is going to be the current project here, and I wanted to switch gears and go back to a little bit of plastic work. For a couple of reasons. Primarily, for the versatility working on this with regard to our channel, and maybe go over a few things about plastic kit assembly. Let's fix that. All right. So we'll just do an unboxing and take a look at the contents of the MPC Mack DM-600. I love the Mack truck. I always have. Just from a style point of view. And I had gotten into a little bit of PC video simulation. There's a simulator, a truck driving simulator of all things, from American Truck Simulator, and there's a beautiful Mack DM, and in that simulation you have the option of painting these vehicles in any style you like. And so I had come up with an off-white and green, hunter green sort of a configuration that I liked, with the old Mack styling with the fenders and lower half and roof of the cab typically in white, with the hood, kind of a hood stripe that follows this hood line here. That would be in the darker hunter green, and then the wheels would be done up according, and then the frame also in the hunter green. So that's kind of the scheme we're going after here. So let's just take a look at our at the components. So here's our cab. It's a two-part cab and hood. And it looks pretty good. It looks pretty fine. I can't say I don't know the last time I built an MPC model. So this is going to be interesting on a couple of levels. But it looks, if I just looking at the cab here, this looks pretty nice. There's our chrome trees. Looks like there's two chrome trees here. Step tank. Is that an air intake or part of the exhaust system? We'll figure that out when we get there. You can see the nice deep wheels. I love those. Notice on a couple of Revell kits in the past, they were shallow wheels, and they just don't look right. These are really deep and nice, and that's good. That's a plus. Here's the engine components. That is a big motor. Comes with the fenders. It's a fender for an option over the dual wheels. I'll probably be using that. Again, that paint configuration that I had in ATS, American Truck Simulator, had the fenders on. It looks good. This is mostly frame. Looks like our cab interior is here. Mud flaps, obviously, here. Seats. And part of the undercarriage supports. Here's the airbags, or part of the suspension. I don't know if that's air. It looks like it might be. I don't know if it's airbag suspension or not. Clear parts. A couple of taillights there. Headlights, windows. Typically on the side windows, I don't use this heavy stuff. I'll take a just sheet acetate, and I tend to pose with at least the driver's side window rolled down. So I'll just cut a piece of acetate about half this height. Stick that in on the driver's side there. Once we figure out how these wind wings look, I may slice those off of here and paint the edges silver to match this framing. I don't know if you can see that on camera here. And then cut a piece of acetate as if the main side windows were rolled most of the way down. Mack, I don't think, typically had air conditioning. I've ridden in these trucks; they get hot. It gets hot when you're driving around in them, and they don't have AC. So you almost always see the older trucks, the windows are rolled down, partially or fully. All right, and here's another couple of trees of the black molded parts. Here we have the heavy leaf springs, differentials, wheel inners, hub inners, or the rim inners. Anyway. Looks like we've got our exhaust headers here, and so on. So this is these parts look really nice and clean, very crisp. There's a small sheet of decals here. Looks like the roadway decals, which is fine. Curious to see what kind of paint guide they have. The instruction sheet, you have optional paint guide. So it's pretty typical. You get a couple license plates, the roadway, Dover, Delaware, roadway logos, American flag, and some numbers. Minimal, good. I don't like a whole lot of what's our paint? Alright, so their paint guide is essentially just this one truck, but that's cool. We're going to deviate broadly from this, so here's a color listing and a color key for the truck. Yeah, they talk about the two-tone paint, but do not describe it here. They talk about it. Paint the hood and cab red with a gloss black chassis, rear fenders. Optional scheme, red cab, front area of hood that wraps around to the fenders, painted gloss black. Well, you really need photographs, and thank goodness for the internet. We can find lots of reference photographs in different paint schemes for this truck. You can also go to the American Truck Simulator webpage and screenshots and look at some of the ones that other people have done, have applied to the truck. But I have my own, and so we'll probably primarily be using that. It's good to have options, right? Before you even begin, you want to make sure. This is something MPC includes this. I've seen this before. I guess I have built a couple of MPC models before because I've seen this. It's just kind of an odd thing, a collector thing they throw in. You cut this out and it makes basically a miniature model box. It makes I don't know whose idea that is, but they do that. These tires look really good. Very nice. Very nicely molded wheels. What this little axle thing is on the back side. I'll have to look at that, see what we have going on there. Anyway, that's the unboxing of our kit. I always leave the decals kind of stashed under stuff. Leave them in their plastic envelope, or so that they don't get paint or glue or anything on them. Not that we're spraying it around in here, but it's always best to keep everything covered. Oh, I see how these wheels go. Okay, so that part is removed. It's funny. Yeah, instructions look nice. Everything begins with the frame as usual. Build it right up to the wheels. Get the engine built up, and then begin working on the cab. The last step is all the little shiny bits and pieces. All right, so this is going to be our project for the next few days anyway. Should be fun. This is nice that these frame parts are molded in black. It's like a very light spray of the body color, and we'll have a good overall appearance. We'll make sure we leave all the creases and voided areas inside there will just be primarily more black than body color, and then we won't really need to apply any kind of wash after we paint it, or shouldn't need to. I'll have to look at my supply of polished aluminum paint to see how we look. I don't really like the bright chrome. It looks too toy-like on a completed model. Even with a clear coat over it, even if you go semi-gloss over it, it tends to look a little too plastic. I don't like that, but it's nice. I mean, if you're going to build an out-of-the-box kit, these chrome pieces look pretty good. Fifth wheel's chrome. So anyway, this is our unboxing. This will be our next project. Next few videos, we'll begin the assembly of the frame and be cleaning up parts and kind of talk about that. These look really clean. I mean, there's not a whole lot of flash here that I can see. Just very minimal compared to AMT kits or even Revell. Quite a bit more flash is what I'm used to. So these look really good. It should turn out to be a nice kit, right? There.